Hi everyone, I'm back after a long break, and I wanted to make a video for Dragon Ball FighterZ that covers Trunks' mix-up game. I'm personally of the opinion that Trunks is a character mostly suited for playing solid neutral thanks to his good normals and his projectiles. However, that doesn't mean he has no gimmicks or tricks that can be used to catch your opponent off guard. He also doesn't have a crouching light low attack, so it makes his high-low mix-up game pretty lackluster. He does however have tricky left-right mix-ups, and you can put your opponent in a hard to guess rock paper scissors game if you use them properly. Okay, here's an error reset for you. While most characters are going to have a hard time getting error resets in the middle of the screen, Trunks can because of his Cyclone Jump. What you want to do is, at any point in a standard bread and butter combo, chain two lights together, and then cancel into light Cyclone Jump, and then follow up with a Dragon Rush. It will work on opponents who tech up, back, and forward in the air. However, it will not work against opponents who down tech. Overall, it's very gimmicky, so don't be too carefree with this setup. It's good to use if your opponent is unaware of this little trick, but they will eventually catch on if you're predictable. However, because it's a reset and you basically reset the damage scaling, you can do a lot of damage if you land the setup. Trunks can also get a 50-50 off of a level 3. After the animation finishes, you need to jump and time your jump heavy so that it impacts. This does require a bit of practice to time it right so that the jump heavy actually touches the opponent. The opponent can anti-air you out of the setup because it is a frame perfect meaty, so it's a pretty neat safe jump setup. Now if you sniff out that your opponent is going to reflect, you can time the jump heavy early and this will make the jump heavy whiff. If you see that opponent whiff reflect, you can get yourself a nice punish. If the opponent tries to block in anticipation, you can trick the opponent and go right into pressure. They can try to press buttons as you land if you whiff the setup, but that's why you also have the option to time it so that it actually hits the opponent, which is why I feel this is a valid 50-50. If the opponent guesses wrong, you can actually kill the enemy if you have enough meter to do so. Next one is a left-right mix-up with EX Cyclone Jump. You can either do it from a simple block string or cancel it from the auto combo. Try to get used to controlling the trajectory so you are able to hit both front or back consistently. Now your opponent can down heavy you out of this, but then the counter to this is to either simply land just a little outside of your opponent's down heavy range, or you can hit them out with an air special. Another alternative is, rather than going for the Cyclone Jump, use Change of the Future instead. The gap between a block string and Change of the Future isn't big enough for the opponent to crouching heavy you. However, the counter to Change the Future is to basically reflect. If your opponent anticipates to Change the Future but you Cyclone Jump instead, you can land close enough without pressing a button for a punish. Alright, the big daddy of all of Trunks' mix-ups. Most of Trunks' sparking mix-ups are done after his light auto combo. When you're in sparking, you're actually able to jump cancel the auto combo from the front, or you can jump cancel a bit later to jump from behind. So this lets you do mix-ups like doing a light auto combo and jump cancel early to jumping special to hit in front, or put an ever so slight delay to hit the opponent in the back. This string is pretty useful because your opponent can't down heavy you. If you jump cancel from the front, they can reflect. However, they can't reflect you if you go behind because you'll change sides and the opponent will get a key blast instead. You can also jump cancel into a grounded special move if you want. The game's input system is quite lenient, so you can do something like jump cancel into a projectile move to help you stay in front. So here I'm going to use Change the Future as an example. If I want to go behind the opponent, I would do the same input as I would if I'm trying to do this without sparking. Now, if I want to trick the opponent and stay in front, I would do the motion and overshoot upwards and press the special button. We call this type of motion Tiger Knee motion because this was the same motion for Sagat's Tiger Knee move in Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Okay, here's a really cool mix-up for you. You have another left-right mix-up with the EX Cyclone Jump, and this one requires you to do the Tiger Knee motion, although you have to change it up a bit. So if you do the auto combo, jump cancel backwards, wait a couple frames, and do EX Cyclone Jump. The arc is supposed to be really shallow and you'll be able to get a cross up. If you cancel into EX Cyclone Jump too early, the arc is going to be pretty high up and it's much easier to react. So it's important you put a slight delay before you cancel into the Cyclone Jump. The alternative is pretty tricky to do at first, so it's good to put some practice into it to get it down consistently. So do the same input as the previous setup, where you jump cancel backwards, wait a few frames, and do EX Cyclone Jump. However, this time, keep holding back so you stay in front, and press heavy twice. You press heavy twice because the first one activates the EX Cyclone Jump, then the second heavy will give you the jumping heavy attack. Okay, I'll readily admit, I'm still trying to get used to getting good at executing this one, but I'll just share this with you anyway. If you call assist and then do the level 3 just before the assist impacts, this is an inescapable level 3. This does depend on your assist though. The reason this works is because the first frames of your jump makes you completely vulnerable, so if you time it in such a way where the opponent jumps, they'll end up getting hit by the assist and then get caught by your level 3. Now, as I said, the timing to do this varies from different assists. However, any assist that can impact the opponent to some capacity will work. So there you go, I mentioned as many of Trunks' mix-up options as much as possible. They may not be the most foolproof mix-ups or setups because a lot of these have ways for the opponent to escape. In a real match, however, it's near impossible to guess right every single time, so it's likely you'll get your opponent to crack using these setups. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm pretty new to the world of content creation on YouTube, so any feedback means a lot to me. I initially thought about making this a full in-depth character guide like I did with my Street Fighter V Ryu guide, but I found it much easier to make a video about a specific aspect of a character. It really does help make the workload of creating these videos a lot lighter. Please leave comments on what type of format I should follow in my future videos, and again, feedback really means a lot to me. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon.